Mr. Lu, in your last video, you're talking whole pack of nonsense. What strawberry generation? Only you are out of touch. Okay, a blood-sucking businessman, top management. You pack of bullshit. Was well. Last video I kena overcut from a lot of people, and I read a lot of the comments. Appreciate all these comments as well. Today, I would like to share with you my perspective to this, and more importantly, is how I think we can strike a balance in certain things. But more importantly is if you are easily triggered, by discussion of work-life balance, by discussion of strawberry generation, work ethics and things like that, don't watch. Okay, don't watch. If you're easily triggered, don't watch. Okay. So today the title is Mr. Lu is talking a whole pack of nonsense. It's a sequel to the strawberry generation discussion that we have 2 days ago. I took some time to read through, to reflect, and today I'm ready with part two of it. So there were a lot of comments that were given, like 200 word comments. I read through all of them. I digested them. I screen captured the main gist of the comments that were given, and I sum up in a few things. Then I'll give you my reflection of it. Okay. The first point I came to realize in a big way is times have changed, right? I belong to old generation. Of course, our forefathers belong to another generation and things like that. And there's some very healthy comments that caused me to reflect on this one, right? There's a person who says that society is changing, creatures' comfort, wealth make generation weaker. I was shocked that SAF guardsmen only route march 24 km nowadays instead of 66 km in the past. BMT only required 10 km, which was done only by PESI. Actually, I'm not too sure about that. I think they still walk 24 km, right, man? You still walk 24 km BMT, right? But I can understand. Nowadays, army don't do, pull-ups and things like that. It's going down. No, so this is an example of times have changed. And there was another person say, I think give and take, right? So this person broke his leg and was given 2 months MC. But after 1 week of hospitalization, he rushed back to work because he's afraid that he cannot finish a project. Think about the customer, think about team members. You don't expect the younger generation to do that, but it's better if they think first others and rather than how it benefits or inconvenient the others. I belong to this generation, and a lot of you belong to this generation as well. That's it. The minute I say this, a lot of y'all will be triggered. Okay. I'm not expecting you to be like that, but I'm just reading for it. Okay. Master Leong, another famous YouTuber, also said that my friend was trying to hire a barista for his cafe. A young Singaporean lady come for interview and said, "Do I need to do any washing?" The boss said, "Yes, simple washing required." The young lady said, "If I need to do washing, I don't want the job ready." Right? Things like that, right? I think times have changed. And a lot of people say that, Mr. Lu, you freaking out of touch. And it's true, right? And rightfully so, right? I think I'm indeed out of touch for a lot of the young strawberry generation. Okay. I'm not saying that the entire young cohorts are strawberry generation, and neither do I also want to imply that there are no strawberry generation in my time as well, right? I think strawberry generation exists maybe in all times. It's just the proportion is a lot bigger nowadays. And there are people who are actually quite triggered by what I said, right? So this gentleman, Samuel, said that I'm from your era. And don't hold your views on interview and work-life balance, and the corporate nonsense need to stop. Expecting work-life balance equals to work ethics and things like that, is a very wrong concept and things like that. There's a lot more comments and I want to share with everybody. And this is a very interesting concept. This concept came out quite interestingly. It basically says that only if I'm paid very highly will I be willing to sacrifice work-life balance. I'm not saying everybody is like that, but there are a lot of people who wrote something like that. I give you an example, okay? Marcus says that, I think strawberry generation is a bit different from previous generation, blah, blah, blah. If you are paid at the right price, I think work-life balance is often ignored. But if you are paid exorbitantly low, the company has terrible workplace culture with high attrition, I think it's more prudent not to put up with it. Fine and work in our company, blah, blah, blah. I think there's another comment. Younglings have no drive to sell their soul to the company because employees are getting the short end of the stick and companies can retrench anytime. And of course, there's this comment that if I'm paid $2 an hour for work in a year, I'll work my ass out because it's worth my time. But if I only work $20 per hour, then I won't work my ass out. So it is a money dependent thing for some people. Okay, I'm not saying for all, but for a lot of people, not some people. Actually, we'll say this. I will give my all if I paid very highly. This is another one as well. If the pay is Mickey Mouse pay, $4,000 to $5,000 a month, expect people to sell their life to the company. What a disgusting joke. And someone said that, no, Mr. Lu, I didn't hear your salary when you work after office hours. frankly, if you earn 100,000 above, it's correct that you have to work overtime and weekend, weekday. But if you're blue collar earning 50,000 a year, it isn't meaningful to work a lot of time. So this is the same concept, right? I don't know how to say this, but a lot of people think that the minute I went into corporate life, I became a CEO straight away or something like that. I start from the bottom as everybody, right? Okay. And those days, work culture is that, we just give our all, right? But again, this is me, my time, and it's not right, for me to impose my culture onto you, but I'm just describing, where some of the feedback and things like that, and I'll sum up with some reflection. Now, this is a big topic. Weekend and off office hours message and email. I think there are two parts to it. There are a group of people who are not okay with bosses sending after office message, weekend messages, or emails. Okay. Then there's another group that says that I'm okay if they send, but don't expect me to reply. And of course, there's a small group that says that I think it's okay lah, as long as it's not overboard, right? So I think it's not about absolute, it's about degree and expectation. And I think this part of it is something a lot of people, wrote about this and basically say that, this is not right. Oh, and this one came out in a big way. No work-life balance is equals to bad for health. This is something that have a lot of comments about it. When there are no work-life balance, the health is very bad. People collapse, get cancer, emotional issue, blah, 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 blah. A lot of people wrote about this, right? That work-life balance is necessary for good health, or at least no work-life balance will lead to bad health. And there's a lot of comments about this and things like that. I don't disagree with this, okay? I don't disagree with this. I've known of people who work their ass out at very painful job that they endure and things like eventually have a very bad health and collapse and things like that. I've seen it all as well. So comments such as this have came out quite a lot. And a lot of people actually wrote that, Mr. Lu, you're entrepreneur. When you are at Singtel, before you're entrepreneur, you're at top of the corporate ladder. You're actually somewhere high in the hierarchy. So you don't understand the people below, their attitude whatsoever, I just need to remind everybody, I started right at bottom, as a junior staff and slowly climbed a corporate ladder. In all, I think I spent a total of close to 20 years or so in corporate life before I completely step out to be an entrepreneur. Before you start thinking that, I was only there right on top from day one, I actually came up right from bottom where at work attitude has no different when I was a junior officer or a senior officer. But again, this is me. I'm not supposed to expect that from everybody, but this is me. And I'm not trying to, at this juncture, impose my work ethics, okay? But I warn everybody, what later I say will be very controversial. You will get triggered if you're very sensitive about this, But let's watch on. So to all, I would like to say thank you for your constructive feedback. I certainly have a better understanding of today's working culture. And I've also came to realize after talking to young people, what is a requirement for them, what is their expectation and things like that. But today I would like to share with you something that's an alternative to what I shared the day. I hope you are not expecting Mr. Lu to give same old kind of thinking from the society. When I first mooted the 1065 movement, that was in 2015, 90% of people say that I'm talking a whole pack of rubbish. And I was being criticized and I was being flamed to death and things like that, Took a few years for people to start accepting that 1065, the CPF is a powerful, wealth building engine. Today it has gone mainstream, okay? Everybody, I would say, 80-90% of people know that CPF is so good to the point that our CPF board have to stop many of us from taking advantage of the special account and things like that. But that's a foregone conclusion. Then I started the wave that in Singapore that really think that the Singapore stock market is a really bad place to invest in stocks, minus a few stocks here and there. The Straits Times Index, a super terrible index, and the S&P 500 and many US and global index are powerful wealth building tool. Again, a lot of criticism when it started. And today, I think it's a foregone conclusion. A lot of people has built a lot of wealth in this. So today I want to give another one of those constructive, controversial view, okay? It might cause some of you be triggered, want to give me a slap, I understand. But it might cause some of you to have a different perspective, and you may have some success, just as you got in 1065 and my stock market strategy. So let's watch on. So viewers warning, if you are easily triggered by controversial view on work-life advice, don't watch. Stop now, go your life, okay? Yeah, but this is something that I would like to share with you, my perspective of work-life success. No, not work-life balance or work-life success. So it's not just work, but it's also work and life. So let's watch. So the first point that is paramount, very, very important, that I saw so many comments and unwritten, but it came out so loudly and so glaringly, is that we should all work in a job that we love. And a lot of you are having so much pain in your work and things like that. It is so obvious that you hate your job. It's so obvious. And I understand what it means when you do a work that you don't like. First joined Singtel, I was assigned to a administrative department. I don't know why, it was HR mistake. And I spent 3 to 4 months cutting newspaper cutting, paste cut, paste cut. Every day I do that newspaper cutting, okay? They paid a graduate to do newspaper cutting for 3 months. And I hate that job, okay? And I just feel that life is really very painful and things like that. And fortunately, after that, I got assigned to work that I like and things like that. Work in a job that you like, okay? Warren Buffett say this, okay? Now, he said, don't save sex for old age, right? A lot of people say that only when I go to my old age, then I work in jobs that I love, okay? Or choose things that I like to do. Right now, it's all about paying my bills, paying the housing bill, paying my debts, making sure I make ends meet and things like that. So only when I retire or much older, then I will do that. But when you are old already, your energy is so low, you miss out the best part of life. Do not save the best of your life only when you're old. Do not save sex for old age, because when you're old already, what can you do in bed, right? For the same reason, in meaningful jobs and joyful jobs that you like, okay? And I disagree that if you pick a work that you love, you got to take a huge pay cut, you can't do as well whatsoever, no? I would say that, generally, if you work in a job that you love, you will do better, you'll do well, okay? Second is that, work because you want to, not because you have to. It's the same thing. So you want to make sure your finances are kept in a way that allow you to have job mobility, so you can choose something that you like. So few people work in jobs that they love. The third thing I want to say is, but Mr. Lu, I actually enjoy quite a lot of my work, but there's this part I don't like. I don't like my colleague, I don't like my boss, I don't like it. Right? Now let's be clear. There is no such thing as 100%. That you cannot, it's impossible to find a job that you love 100%. You'll be very happy you can get 50, 60, 70% really. 80 is a bonus, right? It's the same thing with your spouse, right? It's impossible to find a woman or man that you marry that you love 100% of it, right? You probably love 70% of the person and hate maybe 10%. Maybe your husband, like to throw things around. Maybe your wife like to go shopping and spend money that you don't like to spend, whatever reason, right? Okay. There is no such thing as 100%. You'll be happy. You can get 50, 60, 70%. That's very good, really. But this is paramount. If you work in a job that you love, then it's not work anymore, right? Your energy will be very high. You'll be very committed to want to do more, right? All those things that you mentioned that you hate, about work-life balance, all this will all throw down the drain. You go for holiday, do things that you like, okay, play soccer, play badminton, fishing, whatever, right? Or shopping. These things that you don't argue. I spend too much hours playing, right? No such thing, right? That only happens when you're doing things that you don't like. So this is a very, very controversial thing. When it's first mooted to me, I got a shock on my life, okay? And it took me some time to digest this. I had the honor of meeting Jack Ma in 2012. Super honor. He came to my company to give a talk to the management staff. I was very junior management staff, okay? In fact, I was standing right behind the senior one, sitting on in front and things like that. And Jack Ma shared many things that I completely forgot what he says. But one thing he shared was this. He says that in Alibaba, they were trying to figure out this notion of work-life balance. And they are trying to make sure employees get work-life balance. And after some time, they realized that there is no such thing as work-life balance. It's impossible to achieve, no matter how hard you try. And that came as a shocker, because all of us has been thinking that there must be such a thing called work-life balance, because we are trying to pursue it, right? Finally dawned on the Alibaba founder that it's impossible to achieve work-life balance. Now, there is an alternative I'm going to share with you. But a lot of people say, okay, I want to make sure these are the hours I draw for work and these are I draw for life and things like that. Then I'll try to balance it and things like that. It's impossible to achieve. And along the years, I came to switch from the idea that, there is such a thing, to realize that what Jack Ma said was absolutely true. Okay. And I have the honor of meeting him in person. When he shared that, the only thing that I remember from the talk was this: it's impossible to achieve work-life balance. So what can be achieved? This is not just my thought. There are experts that actually say this, right? So I'm going to give you David Ballard, director of American Psychology Association for Center for Excellence and blah, blah, blah. He says that the way work-life balance is often talked about is frequently inaccurate. The balance part of it implies that you equally divide work time and energy between work and life, right? Is not necessarily the case. So this is where I want to introduce a more holistic concept that is given by Jeff Bezos, okay, the founder of Amazon. It basically says here, right, embrace work-life harmony, not work-life balance, because work-life balance don't even exist. And I agree, work-life balance don't exist because I was trying to pursue it my whole life, and I'll share with you my life success in this area as well. So work-life harmony is a harmonizing, recognizing that work and life actually intertwine together. And this is what he says. In fact, when I'm happy at work, I'm better at home. When your work screw up, your home also screw up many times. So I'm happy at work, I tend to become a better person, If I'm happy at home, I come to work more energized. So both of them are intertwined together. And I came to realize that is so true, right? Rather than saying that there's a strict trade-off, means if I have work, it is at the expense of family or my personal life. And if I want to have more life, it must be expense of work. I find that is absolutely not true. Let me give you the best experience I had. In my 1M65 movement work, you realize that there's a non-profit work, right? And I've done it since 2015, increasing the frequency of it. 1M65 movement is a non-profit movement, okay? It's not for money, and there are long hours to it. I'm talking to you right now. Do you know how many hours it takes for me to prepare for this? And every day when we shoot videos, when we get ourselves involved in our Telegram chat, responding to people, responding to all this, it are long hours, huge amount of effort went into it. Not for money's sake, right? If I devote the same time into business and to my building career and things like that, I'll definitely build a bigger success there. And it tracks a lot of pain from a lot of insults, criticism, and things like that. But yet, I gave my 150% to the movement since 2015 and increasingly more and more. This one actually eats into my life, eats into my life from a work-life balance perspective. Then why on earth do I do so, right? I give you a hint to what it is for me. So there was a person who wrote to me just yesterday. Okay, I get these letters quite frequently, but I thought I'm very touched by this. So he says here, I'm going to read very quickly a extract of it. Mr. Lu, I'd like to thank you for your kindness and unselfish sharing. You don't know how much you have impacted many people's lives. I wish I come across your YouTube many years ago to know how to invest properly and not foolishly follow selfish guru whose aim is to sell courses and entice students that investment is so simple, okay? Needless to say, I have unfavorable results. And she further elaborated on what I've shared about magic of compounding, CPF, US market has benefited her a lot. She hoped to be able to spread even to her grandchildren and asking me not to stop this education. And she further elaborated, you are helping many unfortunate people who don't have the right education environment, who aspire to succeed in their investment. You're a good example to your children is definitely admirable. Values instilled in them will help you and children and many more in the next generation. Thank you very much. God bless you, blah, blah, blah. I really appreciate it. It was an email that touched me to tears. I will just say this, giving my all, 150% was a philosophy that I adopt in things that I do. I did it for my national service. I did it for my reservists. I did it for work. I did it for business. I did it for 1M65 movement, and I gave it all also for my family. I don't find that I need to do a trade-off at all. And it's about harmonizing the all together. You can Google and find out how you can do it. When I realized when I give it to all, I will harmonize everything together. I think my family turned out fine. I don't think I'm the most successful person in life in family, but I think my family turned out fine. I'm very proud of my 3 children. And I think things are okay because I harmonized and I did not attempt to strike a balance because it doesn't exist. It can't be balanced. Work and life cannot be balanced, but it can be pursued to the fullest for all concurrently together. And for someone who says that, Mr. Loo, my health will come worse, I got no time to exercise, I got no time to this, do that as well. I give you an example. Just take a look at Mr. Loo. 2019, it was then a Deputy Prime Minister Tharman, of course now it's President Tharman. I have a chance to give a talk where he was in the audience, and I took a picture of him. Look at my size, 93 kilograms. Look at myself today, 73. Okay, this has been 5 years already. 20 kilos down. I think I look a lot healthier and I work a lot harder. Thus, work-life harmony will give you a chance to even do better in your health, right? You pursue yourself to the better. You start giving yourself this thought that you need to have work-life balance, right? How many of you have work-life balance and your health is still bad? I've never been healthier. So in short, after all said and done, I cannot tell you what you should do because I'm sharing you my life so that I don't criticize you, so that I give my example and share with you, and in the hope that I could be an inspiration to you. It's not a bragging. There's nothing to brag about. Okay, maybe I brag a little bit about my looks, okay, because there are a lot of effort went into it. But the truth is that in my pursuit for work-life harmony and pursuing things I really love, balancing finance and all this kind of thing, my family grew stronger. I'm very proud of them. My wealth grew a lot more. My health got better. My drive in life only sustained and grew and got higher. I think we need to stop believing at things that poison your mind, okay, and start pursuing life to the fullest, because it can be done. Many of you will say, I can't do this because of this, that. And it's not in my position to tell you that my life can be yours, but I think you can strive to achieve some element of it, and over time you can achieve that, and not overnight, but you can reach there as well. So let's just summarize the key salient point of how this can be done. It is important that we start off at the right thing. Do the job you love. Because once you do the job you love, you don't find that it's a pain anymore to a large extent. Stop believing that there is such a thing called work-life balance. It does not exist. Never find it to be achievable. Okay, stop chasing it. Instead, embrace work-life harmony. Okay, integrate work and life together. And then once you achieve that, give it all for your life, and you'll find life really, really worth living for. So with this, I know it's a controversial topic. I would like to hear your feedback as well. Let's have some discussion here or in my Telegram group at Loo1965 Telegram. And I'll see you in a day or two. Bye-bye.